Hi everyone. So today I found this guy was sitting on clearance and he honestly looks really good. But I found a Yucca Cane, and there's a house not too far from where I live. When I drive by, I always see it out on their front porch. And I've just always really liked the plant, thought it was cool. Now this guy, I will tell you, he is soaked. Like, his soil is very, very, very wet. And I don't know a ton about these plants, but what I do know is they tend to live in desert areas. So obviously, this plant being in this wet of soil is not a good thing for it. So they don't need the best soil in the world, and from what I was even advised on from some of my plant friends, is they don't even need the best soil. They just need a lot of aeration. So I'm pretty sure this is all peat moss, which peat moss isn't bad for this plant. It's the lack of like orchard bark and perlite and all of that this plant really needs. So I plan to reuse a good bit of this soil because, like it said, they don't need, the best fanciest soil, when I mix up like my fancy stuff for my picky plants. They just need to be able to dry out, and they actually prefer being underwatered versus overwatered. And I mean, this guy is just soaked. So I'm gonna get him out of this really wet soil, but you can tell he has pretty nice roots. The kitten is very intrigued with all the roots all over the place, but didn't even like how far up on his trunk he was. So yeah, we're not gonna bury him quite as far on this stem. I would like to give him a little more room. Now I do have this nice pot, decorative pot that I can't remember which one my plants came in, but his outer pot will fit in here nice. It is appropriate size for his roots. Like I said, I just really want to get more drainage in here for him. Which I think I'm actually going to take my gloves off here for a minute. And I have my perlite. So I'm just gonna start adding some layers. Perlite, charcoal, bark. I'm gonna mix some of this in as we go. So that way it really gives him more room to breathe, which is ideally, like I said, what we want. Now, I haven't actually had a yucca before, but like I was saying, I have seen a really nice one that my neighbors, well, kind of, they live a little ways, but I always see it when I do happen to drive past. And it's always caught my attention. And when you see one on clearance for, you know, $11, you just kind of can't not bring them home for that price, especially when he looks as good as he does. I don't see any signs of pests. I don't see any issues other than him being horribly overwatered. We're gonna get him in better soil and make this guy happy. Horribly dirty. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm going layer by layer, adding in perlite and bark and charcoal to just give this guy a lot more airflow compared to what he was potted in. Now, as I start to get, you know, I'm past all the roots, I am now packing this down a little firmer around the trunk of the tree, because they do, they will get top heavy. And will start to lean and things like that if they don't have enough support. So you don't want to do it too shallow, but you also don't want to do it too deep that you're burying the plant too far in the soil as well. Like I had said, these guys are known for, you know, living in drought areas. They do better underwatered than overwatered. Really want to make sure they have time to dry out. Now, as you guys can tell, so Gus, the foster cat, who really loves my plants. Say hi, Gus. Say hi to everybody. So he really takes an interest in my plants, unlike my other 2 cats and dog. Gus likes to hang out with me all day, see what I'm up to, and as you guys have seen, he likes to be part of the videos and check out all the soil and the plants and see what's happening. So I hope you don't mind a little Gus entertainment from time to time. So I think I'm gonna leave him like this. You can see, and I am gonna put him down in this decorative pot. Now I might, this guy is gonna go outside on my porch. You can see the sliding door behind me. I have a covered porch on the south of our house, and I have wanted a plant like this for out there. I thought it would look really nice. Sometimes when the weather's really nice, I even take some of my fiscus outside, but I plan to keep him out there and, you know, just bring him in the winter. They're pretty good. I know on the tag it said as long as the temperature is above 50 degrees, these guys are pretty happy. So we are almost to that here in Pennsylvania. We're in the 50s during the day, even sometimes higher than the 50s during the day, but the nights were still dropping. Too chilly to even put my ferns out yet. I did have my ferns out for about 2 weeks because they always love to get outside after being in my basement winter, you know, through the winter. But here you guys go. You would think these being a desert plant, they would love, you know, a lot of sun, but they actually, from what I have read, they don't. They prefer indirect bright light or even low light if you don't want them to grow super fast. They also prefer to be a little more on the snug side in their pot, which is why you did not see me put him in a bigger pot than what he's already in. Right now I'm just going along here. I got some dirt on him. There's some little dried leaves. I'm just trimming some of those off, just cleaning them up a bit. Probably how I would, you know, after winter anyways. Take any leaves off that look a little rough. I mean, honestly, he had like a handful of leaves that had a little bit of brown on the tips. You know, I don't know if you can see how tiny that is. Very little. It's not unusual for them to get a little bit of brownness on their tips. It's pretty common and expected, actually. And like I said, as I'm looking in here, he looks really healthy. At first, you know, sometimes when you get a clearance plant, you don't know what you might be getting. A lot of times it comes with, you know, pests or things like that. But I don't see any signs of any pests. Now I might, just to be on the safe side, I might spray him with some insecticidal soap just to be sure. Anytime we bring new plants in the house, you always want to, you know, be cautious and see what you might find. If you guys have any comments or questions, please leave me feedback or any questions you might have. I will do my best to answer.